Hi, I'm Sue with Creations by Sue, and today I'm going to demonstrate how to put names onto the sleeve of a sweatshirt. And I'll be doing that on this sweatshirt. I made this for myself. Grandma established 2012, and yeah, the demonstration is going to be how to put the names on. We're going to use the Brother PR1055X and the Durkee fast frames. All right, so let's get started. So I'm going to be using my Durkee fast frame that is 2 by 4 inches. I know that's a little covered with stickiness, and I should not have used stabilizer on this side of the hoop. I just haven't cleaned it off yet. It goes on the opposite side, and I've already got that cut. So I cut some sulky sticky. I'm going to peel off the protective backing here. And then I take the sticky side of that and I put it onto the back of this hoop. So what I do is press it on, kind of pulling across tightly so that I can get it as tight as I can. And then I work my way down on the sides. Whoops. Pressing that smooth. And then I take this little piece. You could either cut that part off or I just fold it over. Or you could have, I could have cut it more to size in the beginning, but I do like to fold it over like that, so that is good. Okay, and then I'm going to take my sweatshirt, and I want to put this on the right arm, and I want to be sure that it's on, the right side of the shirt, so be sure you're checking that you're getting it on the side that is going to be facing up. And then I'll stick my fast frame inside of that sleeve. You could measure and make sure you're centering this, but I know that the sleeve seam is right here. And the fold of the sleeve, you can see the sleeve is just, how sweatshirts are. They're just kind of naturally folded. So I just kind of guesstimate the center on this, which that looks pretty good. And then I feel here, which here's the inside of my frame. So I want it to be about there, and then I'll roll. Okay, so what I'm going to do is press it down so that the sticky is sticking to my sweatshirt. And then I go ahead and roll the sleeve up a little bit so that we can see where this is going to be connected to the arm. And it all depends where you want your names to be. You can move this up inside the sweatshirt further. You wouldn't want it probably any further down. You could go a little further down, but that will be good. And then I'm using these clips, and they're Wonder Clips. I got this machine off of Amazon, and I'm going to clip these sides with a clip. So this is not the easiest thing to clip on with these sweatshirts, so bear with me as I push hard and do my best to get it to clip on. I think someone with really strong hands would not have a problem. So you can see that it went on part of the way, and all I have to do is push it on by hand, and it'll go the rest of the way. I have 4 clips loaded in, and I try to make sure I'm pulling this over because I'm going to need as much sweatshirt space as I can, or arms, fabric space here to get it around the arm of the machine. So we'll do the next one. That one worked really well. You could hear the double click. I still have to push it on a little bit, but it went on pretty easy. You could do 1 on each side if you wanted. I like to do 2 just so it's nice and secure. That one's on. And these clips are reusable, which is really nice. Oops. If a clip doesn't come down automatically, I just kind of shake it and get one to come down. And there's that one. The more you practice, the better you'll get with this. So, all right. And then the next step is going to be attaching this to the arm. I have the blue arm here, and I'll attach that, and then I want to be sure to make sure first of all that you push it all the way up so it's even with the side of the arm here, or the back of whatever we would want to call that, maybe the back. And then screw this on tightly because you wouldn't want that to come undone while it's embroidering. All right, and now it's ready to take to the machine. So I'll take it over there. Here we are at the machine, and this is again the Brother PR1055X that I'm using today. I am going to put the sleeve on. So the tricky part about this is making sure that you pull that sleeve down below the arm as you put this on, which I've got it now down below there, and then I'm hooking in the sides, and I want to make sure that I hear two. There's one snap, and I need to hear the other snap. All right, I need to pull it out a little bit and keep trying. This can take a few tries to get it to snap in like it should. I'm not sure why that is, but okay. There, now it's snapped into both, and I will show you each side. So you want to make sure that it's this snap, this is snapped in really well into that hole. And then on this side, it would be this little part right here needs to be snapped in. The next thing I need to do before I trace the design, because you want to always be sure to trace when you're using a non-factory hoop, is to make sure that I'm on needle 1. So I go to this icon here, and I am on needle 1. So that's perfect. And press OK. And then I'm going to do a check of the sides and the up and on the top and the bottom of the design to be sure they're within the hoop. And I can tell you right now that this design would be too high. I can see that because my needle is high on it at this point. I'll show you just one moment. So you can see my needle is right here, which is way at the top of the design, and I want it to be in the middle. So I will show you how to move it down. In order to move it down, I am pressing this button. I'm going to move it down a little ways here. Oops. Okay, now I will check to see where it's at. So I press that. I did that kind of fast. Sorry. I press OK so I can show you. Sorry, I went so fast. We have edit memory, and then we have the two needles. I press that. Right now I have the side being checked on it, but I want to check the very bottom. So I press this icon, and then we'll look at the design. We'll look at the sleeve of the t-shirt on the machine to see where the needle is at. And I like to kind of just put the needle down a little bit, and it looks real good right here. I might not be low enough, so I'm going to press the icon to get me to the up to this part of the design, which is right here. And I can see that I am higher than I want to be. This is closer to the frame than I'm comfortable with. So I'm going to go back to the screen where I showed you how to move the design down a bit. I'm going to move it down a little further and then check again. And this would be okay. I'm just going to go down a little bit further because I'd like it down close to the cuff as much as possible. Move this down a little bit so you can see a little better. There we go. Okay, here's where we're at. Right here, and the frame is here, so there's plenty of room between. I'm putting my finger there to give you an idea between that needle and the frame. So now I'm going to check the bottom of it again. And that looks really good. We know that the cuff is covering the bottom of the frame really well, and this is not too close to that cuff that's rolled over, so that looks very good. I want to check the sides. In order to do that, I'm going to press this little icon and this little icon. This one will take me to the right, and this will take me to the left. And I'll do that and then show you it moving on the sleeve. All right, so we're going to check the right first. And that looks perfect. No problems at all there. And then we'll do the left. There's the left. No problems there at all either. So this is about ready to stitch. What I like to do before I stitch these names out is to put a piece of water-soluble stabilizer on, which I will do. And then I also use a 60 weight thread for this, which is a little thinner than a 40 weight that you would normally use for embroidery. And that's because I want to be sure, because these are such small letters, I'm using the Condensed Block font from Embrilliance, and I even I put it down, I condensed it quite a bit. So this design is only 3.26 inches long by 1.42 inches wide. So if I used a regular 40 weight thread, that might be a little bulky for these small letters, and it probably wouldn't look as good as it will with a 60 weight. Now you can see that I put the water-soluble stabilizer on. This one happens to be sulky, and I tape it down just lightly on either side with some medical tape, which is the kind of tape I use, and I also use blue masking tape at times, so you can use whatever you're comfortable using. And I'm not sure you even need to tape it down, but I just feel better having it taped in place so that it doesn't come off or kind of pull into the middle too much. And then I will go ahead and get this stitching. To start it stitching, I'm pressing embroidery, and then I wanted to stitch on my needle number 1 because that's where I have my thin thread. So I'm going to be pressing the 4th icon from the left to change the color to number 1, and then pressing OK, and now it will stitch it on that color, and it should be set to go. So I will press the lock key and let it get started. All right, I'm pressing lock, which unlocks it, and then I can press this green flashing button and it will start. All right, so they are all finished stitching out, and I forgot to mention that before I do the stitching, I like to check to make sure that the arm of the sleeve is still pulled down all the way to where it should be on the, underneath here. And for those of you that want to watch the stitching, I will post a short video of it stitching out so that those who would prefer not to have to watch the stitching do not have to. And all right, so now I'm going to go ahead and remove this from the machine, which is very easy to do. Just unhook the arm and take it off. All right, you can see the names on there, and I'll be taking off all the clips, which are super simple to take off. Well, just pull them, and I guess I should remove that tape first. So I'll go ahead and do all of that, and then I'll show you the sleeve. So I have the water-soluble, the majority of it taken off here, and the clips are off, and I wanted to show you that I'm going, to remove the hoop from the frame, or this frame. You unscrew that, pull that off, real simple to do. And then I wanted you to see, I try to be careful about pulling this off of the sticky so that I can save some of that, or the majority of it. And then all I have to do is put a small piece of sticky behind this one, and I can do another project on this hoop. Something I demonstrated in a previous video, but I will demonstrate again because I think it's a really nice tip, is I take just plain water, and I've got that in this spray bottle. I spray it on that sticky, or not sticky, it's the sulky tearaway or water-soluble stabilizer, and let that sit just for a little bit. And I've got this tennis ball that I put a bunch of my old water, like scraps of water-soluble stabilizer on. You get the ball wet and then just keep layering those pieces on there until you have this nice crisp ball. And I roll that over this wet stabilizer, and it takes it right off because it's like a magnet. Takes a few rolls, but it's coming off nicely. And then once this is dry, I'll go ahead and clip some of those threads. All the threads from the dot down. I'll clip all those, and the other tiny little pieces in between, those that are so small I really can't get underneath them, I'll just leave those alone. And then the sweatshirt will be ready for me to wear. So you can see here. And I did all these names on the one arm because I feel like that as I have more grandchildren, I will have another free arm to put the different names of those grandchildren on. All right, well, thank you for watching today, and I hope you've enjoyed this video and learned some new things from it. Please give me a thumbs up if you have, and be sure to press the subscribe button to be notified of future videos as I make and publish them. Happy stitching! Bye!